Is there an argument this group of players and Pep Guardiola have been together too long?
I don't think it's about being too long. I think if you look at the first 2 goals given away, like you can't lose the ball in front of your box.
Yeah, that's all mechanics. That's all from the day. I'm talking about in general. This season has not been what was planned. No. I mean, they've fallen asleep at the wheel, haven't they? They were celebrating a 4th title when they perhaps should have been rebuilding. We've had that conversation here already. But is dramatic change required now?
I think they've acknowledged the mistake. You know, they're trying to. I mean, they came public about it, about the fact that they didn't rebuild. You know, and they're adjusting. They're bringing players in. But you're right. I think sometimes a change is needed. As long as saying the manager needs to go, which sometimes could be the first reaction, I think it's too early to say. The thing is, for me, when I see City play, I think it's very predictable. And when they are not at full speed, a lot of urgency, and they, like Arsenal does, you know, sometimes they go quick on the break. City doesn't do it. So I think in general, the teams in the Premier League and in Europe find ways to stop City.
Okay, let me investigate that then a little further. If they're that predictable, is change required on the basis that they have to find another way now? And is the current coach able to work that out? Or is there an argument that that's the place that change should come?
I believe best coaches in the world would adapt to the challenges they face. And if you have to change not your football mind, but some aspect of your game. You know, because if you wait for Arsenal to regroup, or any team in the Premier League, there is no space. Everybody's defending so well now that it's difficult for any given team with any talent to break through and find ways. I mean, Haaland touched the ball 5 times in the first 45 minutes. It's not good enough. He's your best weapon. How many goals he scored? 250?
Something like that.
Yeah, and he doesn't get the service. So you need to change that. And I think Pep is able to do it. And I would do that.
Are we genuinely seeing signs of that?
We've seen, Andy, you talked about it in the build-up of the game. Like they are more direct. But still, most of the time, it's the same pattern.
It's the same pattern.
One
of two things had to change, though.
So, no, I'm fascinated by this. It's the same pattern. So it's the same message. It's almost becoming the definition of madness, doing the same thing week in, week out and expecting a different outcome.
Yes.
Perhaps. Yeah, no, I'll put it to you. Is change in the manager's office required? Is that where the surgery has to come now?
Look, if you look at De Bruyne, Grealish on the bench, okay, those two are normally the mastermind of the game and they are not being utilized. So there is a transition. You bring in new players. Today you put Marmoush there. He wasn't effective at all. Savinho was blocked by Timber. And players have to find their feet. I mean, it's the rebuilding, it's not overnight. So I think Pep will need time to do that.
Do you know, it's simple for me. One of two things needs to change. One or two. And it's what Fergie got right and Arsene got right for years and years and years. If you're a top coach and you're going to be there for longevity, for the length of time that you want to be there, you have to keep freshening your group up with the quality that you are replacing, right? And if you don't do that, then you go. So it's one or two things. He either starts to get that. And the thing is, Keezy, players he's replacing have been amazing players, sensational footballers. We've enjoyed watching them for, 7-8 years. But the ones he's bringing in, are they good enough? Savinho, Mamouche, Kuzanov, Nunez, who else did they bring in? Doku that they brought in. You know, are they as good as the ones that they're replacing? The answer's no, in my opinion. So they have to get that right. And if they can't get that right, and it's static and it's stale, then yes, I agree with you, the manager can be there for too long. The same voice to the same players can be there. And if the new ones in don't pick up the mantle and can do what the great players that they're replacing have done, then the manager has to seriously think about why he's there and what he can do to change it. And if he can't, then maybe you do need to change. Maybe the players do need a different voice. Maybe they do need a different way of playing. Because it seems right now that the way he wants this group of players to play is not getting anything out of them. Nothing.
Did he fall asleep? Did they fall asleep? Should changes have been made sooner? Much sooner? Maybe give up the 4th title and build to win it this year?
The issue is that you don't see it coming because there's 2 things. First of all,
sorry.
you have to see it coming.
Fergie saw it coming 3 or 4
yeah,
times.
no.
Yeah.
But I'm just talking about City at the moment. They didn't see it coming because they were like, okay, we are together. We've done amazingly all together, so we're going to stick together. Loyalty and then performances. There was a few players that dropped at the same time. Kyle Walker, De Bruyne, Grealish at the same time. Then you sell Mahrez, and suddenly you go like this. The strength of Sir Alex was that he brought different assistant coaches from different backgrounds, different
voices.
ideas,
Yes, exactly.
different voices, different methods. And they would take care of the training session and bring different ideas and challenge the manager. But I think around Pep is different. Around maybe Jurgen Klopp is different. You know, these guys have been hands-on training. This is my way. This is my philosophy. This is how we're going to do. But Sir Alex had different people coming, and then he was sitting, and there was an exchange, and they were challenged.
But what Klopp's done, Klopp might have been, but Klopp actually got this group of players that Arne Slot's working with are Klopp's basically.
Yeah.
You know, they're Klopp's players. He did nothing, I don't think, this summer, did he, Arne?
Nothing.
To bring in anyone, right? Chiesa's the only one they brought in. So this group of players was assembled. So Klopp's kept that succession going himself. He's handed Arne Slot a bunch of top quality footballers. He's not replaced his top players with equally as good players, I don't think.
And he's left it too late.
Too late now.
Clearly, De Bruyne's, he's made his job. I said to you,
you did.
6 months ago?
Yeah, you did.
He clearly has made his mind up. De Bruyne's race is run, and then you start to go through the others.
But why do you buy
bringing
Gundogan? Why
back?
do you buy
Why?
Gundogan
What was that
back?
about? David, sadly, Silva looks like he's shot as well.
He's 30.
Walker's already
Kovacic
gone.
is 30.
Stones, Bernardo Silva. Stones, the group has just grown old, hasn't it?
Yeah. Well, Sir Alex towards the end didn't give maybe the best team to David Moyes, so you could say the same.
Well,
But that's after 25 years. I mean, give him a break.
No. But still,
Come on.
still, you know.
I know that, but come on, Sir Alex must have made 4 or 5 teams there.
Yeah, he did.
And his time there, and you know he didn't listen. Roy Keane or Van Nistelrooy or
Well, you know yourself.
Jaap
how long
Stam.
were you there?
They
How long were
didn't-
you there,
it's-
Mikael?
I think
9
we
years?
9 years, yeah.
9 years.
Well, there
so
you go.
I've seen rebuilt. I've seen new players coming and players leaving.
But he
of
wasn't
course.
shy in telling you your
No,
time's
no,
up, was he?
of course.
I mean, it's like the class of '92, right? Brilliant when it came in. But when it needed moving on and replacing and that, he did it.
You need to be strong.
He did it.
It's tough because you're so close to the players and their families, and you have to say, thank you very much, but time for you to go. You know.
Is there an argument, I'll put it to you again, that Manchester City should be thinking the unthinkable from their point of view, that Guardiola should go?
Honestly, I would, if I was running the club. If I was an executive, I would have these thoughts with the owners, with everybody, and say,
you?
yes, I
Okay.
would. I would.
Okay.
How many times they've been trying to readdress the team and make sure they're winning games like they used to and like they dominate games?
Yeah, but
it's not working.
I mean, but yes, I know, but the level of consistency over 4 years has been staggering.
With a good side.
Hold on, let me finish. It's been staggering, right? That buys you some credit for me. And to have half a season, I mean, don't forget, they started the season like a train and went zoomed off at the top of the league, won what, 7 out of 7, 8 out of 8? Something like that. First part of them, everyone's going, well, here we go again. Who's going to be second? And now the wheels have fallen off. Yeah. Now, I don't know what the minds of the Manchester owners are and chief execs and everything, but I would be amazed, Keezy. I really would be amazed if the topic of Guardiola being removed from his job.
I agree with you.
Right?
That is
It's
because
disgust.
they are in awe of him and they are scared of him.
No, but do you
It
not
is
think
his
what he's
manner.
done?
But I think I'm with Mikael. I think the conversation, if it hasn't been had, should have been had, or it needs to be had.
What, Guardiola?
Because, yes, I think the team and him look as though they have had their time.
Hold on, you've just won the title 6 months ago.
Yes, but Andy,
Again?
that's like arguing.
No.
To go back to what was said about Sir Alex Ferguson. Fergie left a side that he knew was in decline.
Yeah.
He didn't want David Moyes to succeed him and have a better record than he'd achieved. Come on, be realistic. So he left a team that required surgery.
He did.
Guardiola's team requires surgery.
Yes.
Are you going to trust him to do it and want him to do it? Or are you thinking to yourself, we've been found out by most teams all over Europe. Perhaps we need a different way.
Has he let down Manchester City since he's been there? Ever? No. Has he delivered trophy after trophy, an unprecedented quadruple to that club? Yes. Has he put them on a footing where they've never been, ever, in their lives? Yes. And I just think, listen, I'm not saying it's not the right thing to get rid of. I do believe managers can have a shelf life at certain clubs, and that the time may be right. All I'm saying is, I would be amazed if they're talking about that right now. I would be. But anyway, what do I know?
But how do you think that right now this style of football would get better under Pep Guardiola?
I don't.
Yeah,
I don't.
That's a question. That's why.
There's a lot of that. I mean, at the risk of getting shot down, these players, a lot of them, most of them, they don't become bad players overnight.
No.
They don't.
No.
Okay.
It's a process that has led them to become ordinary players.
But Keezy, they've become bad players almost with a flick of a switch. The season has gone from winning the first 8 games in the league to can't get a win at all. Just like that. That's the most unusual thing I've seen, the decline of a team as quickly as this one has this season. And it really does. And they are bereft of belief. They are bereft of confidence.
So you think if they suddenly from somewhere found a little bit of form, everything would be okay? What Mikael's arguing, and I'm saying, is that I think that they have been found out. So
maybe
a new way is required.
Yes.
And that might not be for Guardiola to discover.
Agreed.
It could very well be they need change.
Well, I agreed. That could be a case. But do I think that should be the case right now? No, I don't. I mean, I'm not a lover of.
Not a
lover of the way on the basis of what he's done for 7 years.
So use the word that you haven't yet.
What's that?
Loyalty?
No, it's nothing to do with loyalty.
Come on.
What do you mean to his? I'm not talking about to his players. I'm talking about him.
To him.
No. Oh,
Said
come on, Keezy.
Said he should be loyal to him.
Come on. Criticise
loyalty in football.
When was the last title decided? Oh, I remember. 6 months ago, when Manchester City won it easy. Who came into the season favourites? City. Who won the first 8 games? City.
If his team, you say you haven't seen anything like it before, have collapsed like
Yes.
that, there's every chance the coach is burned
Maybe.
and has collapsed
Yes,
like
I agree
that.
with you.
And
And
that's
they've got
why
to
the
decide
conversation
that.
should be had.
Well, listen,
do we need to make a change?
They maybe be having a conversation. I would be amazed if they go and say, thanks, Pep, your time's up. I would be amazed.
I think he'll read it. I've said all season, when he signs that new deal,
That's different.
I was not convinced he'd be there for the start of next year, and I'm still not.
I mean, look at Klopp. Your ideas, you two, and your thoughts are fine. Jurgen Klopp left Liverpool, and every Liverpool fans go, oh, Jurgen's gone. What's going to happen to us now? We've had great years with Jurgen. We played, high quality football. Everything was fantastic. And then we've got a Dutch fella in who we don't know if he's any good. And suddenly, you never hear Jurgen's name mentioned at all now. Slot's come in, he's got them playing slightly differently.
So are you agreeing with us?
No, I'm saying it can happen. What I'm saying is it can happen. But that was Klopp's decision to leave. He didn't get thrown out the door. Liverpool wouldn't have sacked Jurgen Klopp if he didn't say, by the way, guys, I'm off at the end of the season. I agree with you. Guardiola looks like me. Not only do his players look shot, he looks shot.
That's why, as an owner, as a CEO, you should have a conversation.
Conversation's
Do you
fine.
want to continue?
Do you think they would sack him?
No. You ask the question to the manager. Do you feel like you can handle it?
Do you think he'd walk away? Yeah? Yeah? No?
He's done it. He walked away from Barcelona.
Yeah.
Why
That's
not?
a different argument if he walks away. That's a totally different argument. I'm just saying I don't think they'll sack him. That's what I'm saying.
No, I didn't say
no.
that
That's not what you're saying.
You should sack him. I'm saying that I agree with Mikael. If you're running the club properly, you must have had that conversation.
Well, I'm sure they have it on a daily basis, or a weekly basis.
The reason they didn't have a conversation about the fact that the team were growing old has led them into this position. So you're compounding it by allowing a situation to continue in another part of the football club that's also detrimental to the business. And football now is a business. The business is being adversely affected.
Yes,
by
it
this.
is for 4 months, yeah. 3 months. It has been. It has been. Can't argue with that. Can't argue with that.